Now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akuga. Today's edition of the program is centered on two issues bordering on the crisis of underdevelopment in the Niger Delta and Nigeria's northern region, which, like the oil-rich region, is endowed with vast natural resources, but has remained socioeconomically prostrate in recent times. First, we'll bring you a report on youth unemployment in the Niger Delta and how the youths want the socioeconomic malaise to be addressed. Following the report is a special package on the rescue mission of Port Harcourt-based Balama Oil Producing Limited in northern part of the country, where it has successfully executed several projects initiated to offer the people a new lease of life. Inside the Niger Delta, we'll be back after this time out. Don't go away.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. The need to reposition youths in the Niger Delta to participate effectively in the oil and gas industry was the theme of a one-day youth summit organized recently in Bonny Island, Rivers State. The summit, under the chairmanship of Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachukwu, also explored ways of restoring lasting peace in Nigeria's oil-rich Niger Delta. Correspondent Tekena Amiofori has details.
The summit, organized by the Niger Delta Youth Coalition for Peace and Progress in collaboration with the Bonny Youth Federation, was to get participants to reflect on the plight of unemployed youths in the Niger Delta and brainstorm on possible ways of providing them with more employment opportunities in the oil and gas industry. The objective of the youth-based meeting was also to reorientate the youth on how to engage the federal government and the oil and gas companies in their demand for improved living conditions in the region.
The need to relax stringent and auspicious regulations for the communities such that they can participate effectively in the oil and gas industry. Issues of NAPITs, DPR, and all of these things are more like a bane towards our success. Because the indigenous man here has the competence. Why we're concentrating everything on communities, that this is where the pipes have been vandalized, this is where feel the hardship. Look at Bonny, we have LNG, we have Mobile, we have Shell. All of these gas flares come to these people, so we don't know how many people are even sick here.
In recent times, the number of unemployed persons has been on the increase in the Niger Delta. In September last year, the National Bureau of Statistics released a data indicating that the oil-rich rivers, Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa states had the highest unemployment rates in the country, a situation which participants at the summit blamed on government policy lapses.
Government wants the oil, the crude, the black gold, and don't want the mud. And this crude is extracted from the mud. So they allow us to rub ourselves with the mud after extracting the black gold.
Several years of government embargo on employment, the shameful policy of casualization of labor by its oil companies, discrimination against Niger Delta youths, employment of foreigners for jobs Nigerians can very well do, patronage syndrome, amongst others, have all contributed to erect a massive regime of youth unemployment. Whatever needs to be done to ensure that the Niger Delta youths practically eat meaningful benefits from the resources of their God-given land should be done, and done quickly.
Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachukwu, identified several steps taken by the government of the day to address the needs of the Niger Deltans, however, urged the youth to begin to explore legal means to seek redress from perceived socio-economic marginalization.
Ultimately, it takes the needle of the law or the pen of the law to change the dynamics of how this distribution should have. So I urge you to continue to work with the National Assembly to ensure that the voice that you're seeking to have at the end of the day is actually respected in the letters of the law.
As organizers of the summit had observed, employment generation for youths in the Niger Delta will bring about increased economic prosperity, less tension, and improved security in the region.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta and CITIA Associates Port Harcourt River State, in collaboration with Shekinah Institute, Santin Johannesburg, South Africa, presents the 10th edition of its annual International Strategic Management and Leadership Retreat. Theme: Strategies for Building Personal and Organizational Capabilities for Superior All-Time Performance. Date: Wednesday 20th to Tuesday 26th March 2019. Venue: Silver Oak Luxury Apartments, 120, 6th Road, Hyde Park, Saunton. Workshop fee: 950,000 naira to cover workshop participation, resource materials, certificate of participation, accommodation for 5 nights, breakfast inclusive, guided bus tour of Johannesburg and Soweto, visit the Sun City Resort, and visa processing. For inquiries about participation, call Chris on 080-332-80242 or call Princess on 080-205-40134. Explore the world. Call now as entry closes by Monday, February 18th, 2019.
After decades of living in squalor and backwardness in the midst of plenty, it will definitely take a holistic approach to turn around the fortunes of the beleaguered Niger Delta communities. The people's agitation for improved living conditions is indeed a genuine struggle in need of more volunteers. Indigenous oil giant Balama Oil Producing Limited has come to the rescue of its host communities in the Niger Delta by redefining the concept of corporate social responsibility, which it believes should not just be in the Niger Delta alone, but across the entire country. The company's extension of its humanitarian gesture to socio-economically vulnerable communities in northern Nigeria is the focus of our next package. For the opt-in time in October last year, the northern region in Nigeria dominated the list of 10 poorest states released by the National Bureau of Statistics in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP. Using infrastructural development, state of the economy, literacy levels, security and governance as the basis for measuring poverty prevalence in the country, the National Bureau of Statistics had placed Sokoto, Katsina, Adamawa, Gombe, and Jigawa ahead of 5 other states in its ranking. In recent times, the ripeness of poverty and underdevelopment in Nigeria's north has become more glaring than previously imagined. No thanks to the worsening state of insecurity occasioned by the Boko Haram insurgency that has left most citizens displaced and dislocated from their means of livelihood. Worse hit by the vicious circle of insecurity, poverty, and underdevelopment, without a shadow of doubt, are the ordinary citizens, most of whom have been rendered desolate since the inception of the crisis of insecurity enveloping a region that once flourished with economic prosperity. In the northeast Boko Haram enclave, for instance, the picture of gloom and despair, particularly among women and children, is better witnessed than imagined. During a recent tour of the Northeast, House of Representatives member Honorable Sani Zoro observed that the Nigerian northern region was failing. He noted that if urgent steps were not taken to resolve the crisis in the Northeast, it could threaten the entire country.
The northern part of the country is failing. Actually, it has failed in so much part of it. And my fear is that this grave situation will have a contagion effect on other parts of the country. There is no doubt about this.
The casualties of the ongoing insurgency in this part of the country are not only victims of incessant suicide bomb attacks, they also include the bulk of the population without access to water, food, shelter, healthcare, education, and other basic human needs. Indeed, the challenge of addressing the plight of vulnerable communities has been a daunting task for government at all levels, a situation that has prompted the intervention of Balama Oil Producing Limited. Balama Oil Producing Limited is based in Port Harcourt and an indigenous exploration and production company operating oil mining lease 55 in the Niger Delta. A relatively new entrant in the oil and gas industry, Balama Oil, in less than 3 years of its operations in Nigeria's oil-rich region, redefined the concept of corporate social responsibility to its host communities, giving them cause to heave a sigh of relief from administrative neglect and backwardness. It is in line with his operational philosophy of uplifting humanity from the throes of backwardness and underdevelopment that the indigenous oil giant decided to embark on some life-transforming projects not just in the Niger Delta but in parts of northern Nigeria, which, like the Niger Delta, contends with the challenges of insecurity, poverty and underdevelopment. Owing to the threats posed by water scarcity, Balama Oil has taken bold steps to bridge the demand for water, one of mankind's most critical life-supporting needs. In Katsina State, Balama Oil has completed 4 water projects in Daura and Musawa, all accompanied by water treatment plants. First is the state-of-the-art water facility at Musawa town in Musawa local government area of Katsina State.
That long time we no get this pure water like this one. So now we are happy for this getting this pure water. Now good water with Balama.
In Daura, there are 3 water facilities at the Emir's Palace, the Daura Airport, and at the local mosque, otherwise known as Mashalashi.
Lapses of water, that problem we have already been solved. We are highly grateful. Thank you, Balama. This clean water, let me celebrate. The water is very sweet.
Balama, tell him that he is now an indigenous of Daura community.
Yeah.
We welcome him to come and settle among our community. We will tell the emir, the president and everybody to serve him with the indigenous of Daura local government.
Yeah.
Daura Water Station 1, close to Daura Helipad. It has a total of 100,000 liters capacity, 40,000 untreated raw water tanks, 20,000 treated and 40,000 overhead tanks. This is to service the area around the helipad and the communities around.
Always talk about the project. They quite appreciate your effort and we thank you very much.
Balama Oil has also delivered water projects in Misau Town, Bauchi State and Kumo in Gombe State.
I'm very excited with how they brought the borehole to this area, and we are very grateful to the person that actually invented the borehole here. It has helped a lot in so many ways because the money you used to spend in buying water or time that you use to go and look for water in the well definitely is available so close to the house.
In fact, we are suffering with water before the brought of that borehole. We are suffering. We don't have enough water here, more especially within this community. On behalf of the community, we are very, 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 very happy, and we pray for Mr. Balama. God will guide him.
To the relief of the benefiting communities, all the water facilities are powered by solar energy, which is a deliberate strategy to ensure steady water supply.
We don't need to wait for you. National grid, these are NEFA or whatever. We don't need to wait for generators and purchasing diesel. That is a good thinking was done by Balama Oil. We will be having water for at least 8 hours every day, unlike before, that we cannot even have water for 30 minutes.
At the moment, there are 2 ongoing water projects at the newly approved Nigerian Army University in Biu, Borno State and the Sokoto State University.
somebody from Rivers coming to do a project here, welfare project, as his own contribution to community development. In fact, no words can express what we really feel. And this project is like an example to the rich people that we have here in Sokoto and even around here, so that they can emulate and also bring some projects to us. We really thank you very much. The reward will be on earth and in heaven.
Balama Oil's provision of safe drinking water in northern Nigeria is a major intervention in the crisis rocking the Lake Chad Basin, where drought and conflict have combined to fuel water scarcity. Until this intervention, most families had to travel several miles in search of potable water. The Eddie Rufai College for Legal and Islamic Studies, Misau, in Bauchi State, is a major beneficiary of the water project delivered by Balama Oil.
For over 30 years, the college has been suffering a crisis of water. There is no water in the college, and students are suffering. The college community in general, staff, students, and other members of the community. If we should, with this project, we believe the project will solve a lingering water scarcity of more than 30 years. And that can explain to you how I feel, of course. I believe somebody who has rescued the community, definitely we keep on praying for him that may Almighty Allah reward him abundantly.
In furtherance of Goal 6 of the United Nations Development Goals, which also seeks to achieve access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all by the year 2030, Balama Oil has made efforts to improve sanitary facilities in parts of northern Nigeria. One of such interventions is the completed 600-meter Lamari drainage system at Misau Town, Bauchi State.
We are happy with this project. The initiator of this project, we are grateful to God that he should make his company grow bigger. The work the contractor is doing for us is perfect. Before, we used to have too much mosquito here. We cannot even, nobody will pass here with bicycle, motorcycle, or anything. But by now, you can go to your house, the doorstep, with your vehicle, your motorcycle, everything. And we're happy with the contractor because whatever he do for us is always perfect.
In extending its milk of kindness to the north, Balama Oil has equally embarked on the development of infrastructure to make life more meaningful for communities in need. The already completed 380-meter Alhaji Abagardi Road, which is accompanied by a drainage outlet in Misau Town, Bauchi State, is one of such several projects in the town that has provided succor for residents. This 420-meter road, also constructed with a drainage facility at the new government-reserved area, is one of the 3 key road projects Balama Oil has completed in Misau Town, Bauchi State. The road is now motorable and provides easier access to other parts of the town, saving commuters and motorists several man-hours lost to its deplorable condition before this intervention.
Balama Oil has constructed 3 roads here. The first road is almost 400 meters. 400 meters is asphalt finish inside town. And then this one, the GRA road, is 1 kilometer asphalt finish. Then the one by my right is also at the GRA new extension, which is surface dress, second quad surface dress road, almost 450 meters. So Balama Oil has constructed 3 roads, which are very, very important roads in this community.
The completed 1-kilometer road project, also constructed at the new GRA axis of Misau Town in Bauchi State, is another major source of relief for residents of the area. The well-paved road, adorned with a drainage system to the delight of the residents, is a major urban renewal project that has significantly enhanced the aesthetic appeal of this part of the town. In line with its operational standards, Balama Oil has closely monitored the execution of all its projects in the benefiting communities to ensure that they stand the test of time, taking into cognizance the need for durability, utility, and aesthetics. A major positive outcome of the landmark projects embarked upon by Balama Oil is the creation of jobs for the local populace. In most of the project sites, scores of skilled and unskilled workers were offered employment to cater for themselves and their respective families.
I'm a driver. For the past 1 year, I've been here working and feeding my family. I have 4 wives and children. At least their education, their health, everything is under this project. Not only me, we are many. Drivers, laborers, and other people are all benefiting from this project.
Admittedly, the creation of jobs for the youth has so far reduced poverty and crime rates and has equally contributed significantly to the gross domestic products of the various northern states. Perhaps most commendable is the recently commissioned short-term intervention and support project for victims of the Boko Haram insurgency who are now internally displaced in Yola, Adamawa State. With the support of its joint venture partner, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Balama Oil recently donated pharmaceutical drugs, food and household items and other relief materials to internally displaced persons at their various camps in the Adamawa State capital. It is the first phase of an ongoing project carried out to offer victims of insurgency a new lease of life, an intervention that the government of Adamawa State describes as timely and most welcome.
What you are doing here today is telling us that if some people who call themselves Boko Haram can be very satanic as to send our people away from their homes, we also have very angelic kind of people like you who have the milk of humanity to come here and say, look, hey, no, it's not all Nigerians that are bad, it's not all human beings that are bad, but we have good human beings that believe in humanity who can come and assist.
We're trying as much as possible to show our love and support to those people.
The Balama Oil initiative of addressing the crisis of underdevelopment is widely hailed as unprecedented in the northern communities, which is why they have decided to take ownership of all the projects. It is for them a laudable attempt at fostering national unity and cohesion, an example which they enjoin other corporate organizations and individuals to emulate.
We will try to see that all the community we have maybe we will maintain it through communal effort and other matters.
If somebody from his house will come to a community and provide such project to help the people living within the community, that shows that Nigeria is one, and we pray to remain one, and we should understand our differences and live in harmony. We thank Balama Oil.
Back at home in the Niger Delta, the host communities of OML 55, where Balama Oil currently operates, are singing a new song of joy and hope, courtesy of Balama Oil, which has significantly demonstrated how much they can benefit as critical stakeholders in the oil and gas industry. Owing to the huge incentives enjoyed by their counterparts in the neighboring OML 55, the forlorn communities of Belema, Ngeji, and Ofoyama in OML 25 are making a strong case for Balama Oil, whose president and founder, Jack Ritain Jr., is a son of the soil to take over operations in their territory. Their expectation is that Balama Oil will replicate in OML 25 the milestone it has recorded so far in OML 55.
Balama Oil has placed the host community of OML 55 on the fast lane of development and wealth creation. We are convinced that if Balama flow station OML 25 is given to Balama Oil, this will replicate the same gesture in our community.
While saying that charity begins at home applies to Balama Oil, it also believes that such homegrown charity can be extended abroad in the spirit of common humanity. This explains why it has embarked on the several life-transforming projects in northern Nigeria, which share similar development challenges with the Niger Delta. But as the manager, corporate affairs of Balama Oil, Samuel Abel Jumbo, observes, the ongoing intervention in northern Nigeria and the Niger Delta will be replicated in other parts of the country in no distant time.
Because we believe that the opportunity God has given to us is not just for ourselves alone, but for every humanity, the other part of Nigerians, everybody, we are all one. And that's why we are doing what we're doing. We are taking particular knowledge of our host communities. We are making sure that our host communities are properly taken care of. We are providing these amenities for them. We're only extending a hand of fellowship to our brothers in other areas.
For Balama Oil, participation in Nigeria's oil and gas industry is not just about raking in billions of petrodollars for personal aggrandizement, but giving back to the host communities as well as reaching out to other non-oil producing communities faced with similar crises of underdevelopment. The idea is to evenly spread Nigeria's vast oil wealth in accordance with the principles of derivation and need. This is undoubtedly the way to go in assuaging the feelings of resentment and restiveness in all host communities of Nigeria's wealth, derivable from both the oil and non-oil sectors of the economy.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's how much we can take on this edition of the program. You can stay connected by following us on our social media handles showing on your screen right now. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region will be back next week, same time on this station. Until then, I'm yours sincerely, Mahmoud Akuga, appreciating you for staying tuned. Bye for now.